Okay, I'm back. Here's another one. I'm gonna just do it faster because I don't want this to be like 20 parts. Okay, here's Puppet Master 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Curse of Sucks Ass, so I'm not gonna talk about that one. But 4 and 5 are fun and very underrated sequels. I like the lead guy, Gordon Curry. He's in 4 and 5. The puppets kick ass. They fight these creatures that look like gremlin like alien creatures. It's a lot of fun. The visual effects look fantastic. I'm gonna cover this one because I don't like this one. I think that the puppets look good. I love Full Moon Pictures. They do a lot of fun movies. I've seen a lot of their stuff this year, and I've enjoyed it every minute of it. 4 and 5 are the best of the sequels. I think I saw Axis of Rising recently, and I liked it. It's not better than this one. I think these are much more subtle. But 4 and 5 are really good sequels. I think the Puppet Master films deserved sequels like this. I think 5 should have been the last one though. Curse of sucked. Retro was okay. Axis of Evil was decent, and Axis Rising was decent. But if this was the last one, I wouldn't have complained. They're worthy sequels to the first one, and I love the score in these movies too. Okay, next you got House of the Dead 2. I never saw the first movie. I don't care to because I've heard it's one of the worst video game movies of all time. This one wasn't done by Uwe Boll, and it definitely shows. Is it a low budget? Yes. But the action and the gore is fantastic in this movie. I really enjoy this movie. I like the cast. I think Emmanuel Vaugier kicks ass in this movie. I think she's beautiful. I like Ed Quinn. I think he's an awesome lead. He's not a boring lead like we had a lot this year. Um, I like the zombies look really cool. It's soldiers versus zombies. That sounds awesome on paper for me. It's like aliens but with zombies. And when it's the action's there, it doesn't let up, and I think it's a vastly superior sequel over the first film. I'm probably gonna watch the first film and just laugh my ass off of how awful it is. This one actually got a commentary, and I liked listening to it. It's a fun movie. Just going for what you want to see. Zombies getting blown up by soldiers. You can't get any better than that. Okay, here's another zombie film that I recently saw. I heard the commentary. Fun commentary. It's not perfect. I know it isn't. I never said it was. But I like this movie. It's a guilty pleasure. Fun sequel. And that is Resident Evil Apocalypse. What more can I say about Resident Evil Apocalypse? I think Nemesis looks cool. The action sequences are really fun. It has a lot of feel of the game. The lot. It reminded me of Resident Evil 2 with the zombies in the city and the dogs and the liquors and the freaking car chases and all that. It was just crazy. It didn't let up. There was a lot of action in this movie. It's short. It's very fast paced. It didn't bore me to tears, and I really enjoy this film. I don't think it's the worst of the series. I've seen worse. Um, I think the one next year, I don't think it's going to be good as this one. And although it does have some bad dialogue, I did like Sienna Glory as Jill. I think she's very effective. I know she's British, but she's beautiful, and she looks just like Jill from Part 3. It's a fun movie. I would give it a watch if you haven't seen it after you see the first one. Okay, here's another sequel that got shit on. I know they said, oh, but Eddie Murphy wanted to be Wesley Snipes. I don't mind this movie. I had fun watching this. I saw this in college a couple of years ago on DVD, and I like the locations and everything, and that is Beverly Hills Cop 3. I don't think this is Eddie Murphy's worst film. I know he's done worse than this. He did Norbit and he did 1,000 Words, which are much worse than this. And those movies aren't funny at all. I like the guy that plays Ellis DeWald. I don't know what his name is. It's not here, but his name is memorable to me. I liked him and Judge Reinhold being together again, even though Taggart is not in this film again. I know I missed him. I don't mind Teresa Randall as the lead girl. She's beautiful. She's nice to look at. I like the location in the amusement park. Wonder World. It reminded me of Disney World when I went when I was a kid. I like the song. It didn't annoy me. I know a lot of people are annoyed by this film, but I like it as a guilty pleasure. Eddie Murphy is still doing so it's something different, but it's still R-rated. It still has its fair share of fun moments, and I think it's underrated. So, yeah. Next is a comedy to one of my favorite movies with a robot from the 80s, and that is Short Circuit 2. I love this movie. I love the score in it. I like Michael McKean and whatchamacallit, Fisher Stevens. I think they have good chemistry in this film. Cynthia Gibb, the lead girl, I thought she was cute and she was fun. You know, she was there. She's a better actress than a lot of actresses now. 2 thumbs up, even better than the original. I agree to a certain extent about this with Siskel and Ebert. May they rest in peace. I love the robot's voice. This robot looks freaking awesome. It does have a dark turn in the third act, so warn your kids that this movie's fun, but there is a part that might, disturb them a little bit when, what happens to Johnny Five. I like the fact that this movie is a sequel to the first film. It's not just a remake. I like the city location. I thought it was different from than the farmhouse in the first film. Really, really worthy. I miss Ali Sheedy and this other guy, what was it, Steve Guttenberg, but this film, it does its own thing, and it's underrated. I think it deserves better. Okay, now we have another sequel that I think is a lot of fun. It's worthy to be a sequel to the first film. The third one could kiss my ass. I thought it was badly edited, and the director is a douchebag. But this one I like, and that is Transporter 2. Fun movie. Lots of action. 88 minutes, and it goes by quick. This movie was a lot of fun watching it. I saw this in college a couple years ago. The action doesn't let up. Jason Statham kicks ass in this movie. It says one hell of a ride up here. I agree. I like the girls in the film. You have Alessandro. No, not Alessandro. Alessandro Gassman, that's the villain of the movie. Amber Valletta. She's a blonde. She's beautiful. I love her. Kate Nauta. She's a tough chick. She has these black eyeshadow, but she's one mean bitch in this movie. And, Jason Statham, he does really good in this film. I miss movies like this. Just a fun, entertaining thrill ride. Okay, here's when Seagal gave a shit about his career. This is one of the few sequels he's done, I think. Yeah, I really enjoy this movie. I think that it's a very underrated sequel to the first one. The first one is better, but this one's fun. And that is Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. Yes, I do like this movie. I saw it on New Year's a couple years ago, and it's fun. Die Hard on a Train, yes, I agree. It is fun, fun, fun. And yes, I know Katherine Heigl's in this movie as a young teenage girl. I don't mind Katherine Heigl in this movie. I know that she chooses a lot of bad scripts, but back here, she actually had a good part in this movie. I don't mind her in this. Seagal's good in the film. I don't mind the villain. Morris Chestnut, I don't mind him in the film either. I think that it's very fast paced, has a lot of cool action. It's 100 minutes, but I was never bored, and the train sequences were cool. No bullshit CGI or bad editing or shaky cam, and it was one of Seagal's best films from the 90s. And I wish he would go back to doing this. Lose some weight and do a movie like this again, Seagal, so people can give a shit. I'm just saying.